A desiccated corpse, veins protruding across its skin, emerged from the shadows of the stone sarcophagus. He was one of our 3 great elders, wielding supreme authority over the entire vampire clan. Bound to slumber for a century, he'd been awakened a century early because of me. I did this because I uncovered a secret capable of shattering our entire clan. The Wolf King Lucian was not dead, but plotting in secret. He had gathered all the werewolves, preparing to ambush Elder Amelia tonight, while simultaneously dispatching a squad to capture the human bearing the Covenant bloodline. Michael, I brought this earth-shattering news to Victor, hoping he would grasp the gravity of the situation. However, since I personally performed the resurrection ritual, he couldn't verify the truth through the memories in my bloodline. I lacked the Elder's abilities to engrave complete memories into blood. All Victor received were disjointed images and fragments of thought. Enraged, he accused me of shattering millennia of tradition, even threatening to hand me over to the council for judgment. Meanwhile, Amelia had arrived at the train station. Soon, however, deafening wolf howls pierced the night sky. The werewolves surged toward the train like a tidal wave, while the vampire squad tasked with protecting her stood by Colgrove. They had already been bribed. Amelia, caught in the ambush, was gravely wounded and ultimately drained of her blood by me. Elsewhere, Lucian's squad was pursuing Michael. I fought desperately, silver bullets felling the werewolves one by one. I smashed the glass, shoving Michael out to let him escape while I held back the enemies. But I soon discovered Michael had been taken away in a police car, and by the time I chased after them, it was too late. Enraged, I grabbed a werewolf and dragged him before Victor for interrogation. From his mouth, I learned they had been searching for a special bloodline, the descendants of Covenants. Only pure genes, untainted bloodlines, could perfectly fuse the powers of both races, and Michael was the key. His blood held unimaginable power. If Lucian could combine the Elder's blood with Michael's, he could create the first half werewolf, half vampire hybrid in history, a being more powerful than any other. Just then, Khan arrived with news. All council members had been killed, and Amelia's blood had been drained. Victor finally believed my words were true. He punched the werewolf doctor to death, his rage echoing through the hall. Yet at that very moment, Lucian had already injected Michael's blood into himself, bringing the plan to its final stage. Amidst the tense situation, Klein unexpectedly defected to Lucian with his loyal followers, completely betraying the family. By the time we stormed the werewolf lair, the battle had already erupted. Klein ambushed Lucian, weakening him with silver bullets before seizing the chance to escape. The bloody battle intensified as the werewolves fell one by one. Nick arrived with Amelia's blood, only to find Lucian collapsed on the ground. Rage consumed him, triggering his werewolf transformation as he launched a frenzied counterattack. I finally found Michael, rescued him, and held him tightly. At that moment, the dying Lucian saw us, a complex light flickering in his eyes. Victor had also arrived, mercilessly slaughtering the wolf clan. During our escape, Michael and I encountered Klein. Seeing us together, Klein's rage boiled over. He shot Michael through the heart, then fired multiple follow-up shots. The mercury bullets spread rapidly through Michael's body, leaving him barely clinging to life. Klein seized the opportunity to sow discord, claiming it wasn't a werewolf who slaughtered my family years ago. It was Victor, because Victor couldn't endure the blood of beasts long term. He greedily drank human blood, and Klein was always the one cleaning up his mess. Klein tried to kill me, but Lucian intervened. He reminded me that only biting Michael could save him, recalling the wolf doctor's words. I knew this was the only way. I bit into Michael's neck, feeding him my blood. In that moment, Klein killed Lucian and fled in panic. Victor arrived, slamming me against the wall and attempting to kill Michael. But when he realized the mercury in Michael's body was nearly lethal, he casually tossed him aside. I demanded the truth about my parents from Victor, but he only offered a cold apology at that moment. Michael's body began to transform. His eyes turned pitch black, his claws sharpened, his entire form darkening as he became the first half werewolf, half vampire hybrid. Battle erupted. Michael and Victor clashed fiercely, fighting from the water to the walls, then from the walls to the floor. I watched helplessly as he battled Victor. Finally, with my desperate assistance, I seized the longsword and severed Victor's head in one stroke, ending it all. Yet, this was not the end, for in the distance, the true progenitor of vampires, Marcus, had awakened.